So if you want to achieve any financial goal, those are the only three variables that you can touch. Now, as an average Kenyan who is not planning for a tender or some funny job, some side deals, as an average Kenyan, the only thing you have is time. So consequently, you're better off starting early. So that if you're starting at 20 and your task is to gather the amount, capital, you had the word capital. It was right there. We just didn't think about it enough. When somebody tells you something is capital, okay, let me give you another example. Capital punishment. That's death, right? Like this is supreme. Let me tell you, boss, after purpose discovery, the next thing you need to fix is your finances. Because if you don't fix your finances, you're going to have a very painful life. As a matter of fact,
hello guys, welcome to this new episode of Edit Like a Pro. This is episode 165th episode of Edit Like a Pro. I think after I've done like 1,000 videos, I should begin to do like seasons. So for after 1,000 I do season 2, then another 1,000, then season 3, like that. Yeah, 1,000 is a good number. I would have started at 100, but I'm already past 100. So yes, we have a fleet of images. I think estimatedly 25 images, all these images. I don't know that I can edit all of them now and tonight, but it's 5 in the evening. Probably I can have the grace to do that. Take like 2 minutes to subscribe, share with a friend, invite someone who you think will benefit from this kind of information. Then I'll be opening the folder that has those images, then we'll begin.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes?
Right, I'm back. Now we can begin. I don't know whether there is, I think the wisdom will be we import all of them at once, all the 25. Then we begin from a category. There are family category, baby category, mother category, dad category, stuff. Then we do them in that order. Then we see how far we can go, right? If you are not interrupted, we should be done with the 25 images by the closure of business today. Right. Shall we begin? I might not explain all of them, because for most of them that are shot around the same concept, after I edit like 3, I'll begin to repeat myself. The information is going to be empirically the same, repeated. By empirical I mean repetitive. So I might not be speaking all through, but trust me, we'll not start a new line of work without an explanation. So let's go to the import. We'll also do a behind scene video. This time This time round I did a time lapse because the shoot lasted too long. I thought to myself, if I do a video, that one is going to take all my memory space. So I did a time lapse. I'll play that video maybe towards the end so that you don't take too long on this one. The first image is 5068. You see, when I talk I slow down. Like the whole time I was talking I couldn't even import an image if I wasn't talking, so explanations mostly delay me. I don't know why. $50.68. Now, one thing I've always thought is that when you look at an image, your head should tell you a quick answer for what is wrong with this image, or what can be improved in this image. Maybe it's not wrong, but can be improved. You get an answer for that, then you're good. For me, it's the highlights and the saturation. So if I lower the highlights and increase the vibrance, the blue will look correct, and then I lower the temperature slightly, like that. That's a good beginning. Anything else I need adjusted, I can adjust later. When I show you the video, you'll understand. I'm shooting with this photo with how many lights? 4 lights. A strip box on this side. Maybe I should go get that video, because showing is easier than telling. Yes, as you'll see in this time lapse, there is a light out here. This light is light number 1. There is this strip box here, that is light number 2. Yeah, there are 3 lights, and Godox 120 centimeter where the camera is here. We couldn't put on a lantern or any other light because of the glass problem. By the glass problem I mean sunglasses always get lens glares. You can even see it has those glares because it reflected some continuous light that was available in my shot. The continuous light is this one. This is the light that I'm using as video light, rather room light for me to see what I am doing, focus and all. And this is what is reflecting. So I thought if I added another light and the angle coincides with the face, then I'm going to struggle with the reflections of the glass, you see. So that's why. Let's lower the whiteness slightly, drop the blacks. I want to ensure that I have good detail, because what I do on one image becomes what I do to the rest, mostly. That's good enough. You want to see the before and after? This is the before, this is the after. I don't know whether I have other options. Yes, I have the split option. This is the before, this is the after. It's even written up here. Thank you, Camera Raw. You're making my life very easy. So mostly, if you look at the suit, it went pale, one because of the neutral color profile I'm shooting with, and two because of the lighting. A lot of lighting makes a color lighter, right? But you can see in the video it's very deep blue. Let's call it parliament blue. Let's push this in. Where is that? Like that. You can see now this color and this agrees, right? But it doesn't agree with this. Correct. So mostly, even if it wasn't that, I would still do it that way because I love strong colors and saturation. Done with explanations. This video shall play later. I'm instructing on the post, the direction, the angles, the what, all that kind of stuff. It started as a video initially. You can see. But then I noticed that this shoot is not going to end anytime soon. So I began to do time lapses so that the videos are shorter. I think anytime someone comes with more than one article of clothing at my studio, I'll try to do a time lapse. Then I can explain it as I pause. That will make it easier and make it quicker. Right. Now, before I continue, this part is important. If I click here, you'll see it will open up the preferences. It tells you the version of camera raw that I'm using. But besides that, it also tells you that I'm editing in the color space called Profoto RGB in 16-bit color channel, sharpened for web standard, and most importantly that I have tagged on open in Photoshop as a smart object. If you click that once, you don't have to click it again. You just need to do it once. Done with the explanation. Now import every other photo of that suit using previous settings. So the next photo is 5089. So you won't need to change the settings. You just need to go to these three dots, apply previous settings, and open the image. Next, 5088. Three dots, apply previous settings. 5081. Done. Next, 5078. $50.46. When you're done with the blue suit, then we'll stop there. So that we have like a procedural kind of approach to all this. Uh, 50-90. Oh. $50.37. I think at that point we've already dropped the blues. Let's confirm. 50.37 is a whole different category, so we'll come back to that. We'll circle back. Men photos don't require a lot of editing, but still we need to do a good job here. So let's begin. On your keyboard, Control and J. Press Control and J. When I say on your keyboard, is press. Then quick select tool, which is tool number 4 on your default Photoshop tools list, and then select subject. Selection is good. We load a solid color because something will be left out definitely. That's a good color. We'll see what is left out, because if anything is white, it will be assumed to be the background. So we'll start from the top, and then we'll go checking the mask to ensure that the mask, everything that is supposed to be part of the subject is included. If it's not, we'll activate the mask, not the properties but the mask, and then select the brush, 100% hardness, smaller, with the color white as the foreground color. Then in areas where we need to paint in, we zoom in. Like this is a straight line, so we'll click once, hold shift, come down here and click again. It's not really straight, but it's mostly straight. Right, then a smaller brush for the watch. I almost called it a clock, but I don't see a difference. They do the same thing. The probably difference is where they are placed. But then for properness of language, click shift, click again. Then we'll paint in this part. I don't even know what that is. Let's see. It's the clock. What was on the other side? Bracelet. And then we fill in this space. Correct. We keep going down, and that was left out. It is the shirt that was left out, and anything that had very bright highlights, like the highlights of the wristwatch, because Photoshop perceived that as part of the background, because the background is majorly white. I've already said that the more you paint, the better you become at painting. So even when you can do pen tool, you try paint, because there are things you really want to do with the brush and you'll struggle, like retouch. When you're using the brush, the mixer brush, you'll have to use it as brush. You cannot like use any other method except painting. So I know I'm saying I could select this shoe using pen tool and fill in these spaces, but again I know how important painting is, and getting my hand used to this, so that the day I need to have a stable hand when I'm outlining something, it's going to be easy. When I said I can use pen tool, this is what I meant. It will even look faster, but it will take away your chances to learn painting. Click once, then I'll click down here, Alt, click here, change the path, in, curve it, click there, holding down Alt, again, click here, bend it in, Alt, click the center. Anytime you want to change the path, you click Alt, and because this path is about to change, there, then we circle back, think like that. Then we join these two parts like that, make selection, 0, feathering, and then brush, and then Alt backspace. You see, it's quick. The problem with that, it takes away the chances for you to learn, for you to perfect brush tool. Right, inverse it so that we see the other side. If there's a part of a background that was included, like these parts, then we'll take those away. This time around, you are going to use select, color range, sample that white, add and select other values of that white. We'll get a selection that will really help us paint it out. Go to the other side, select this part again, like that, perfect. Activate the mask, then come with a brush, activate the mask, then come with a brush and paint that out. I would need to change the brush size very many times. I can't see my brush. Where is it going? Okay, fine, I've seen it. To change my brush too many times for me to see where it's going in here. But now that's done. So inverse it, load it, hold down Control, double click the mask, then on to the actions. This action is included for free in the video description of this live stream. Then we play the Brian Umos background cleanup with an expansion of just 1 pixel. Now the background is evened out for the most part. Then we'll go in and check whether there is something we need to do. So we whiten the teeth, hue saturation on the adjustment layer. Here's the adjustment layer, open hue and saturation. You just click it once, this half circle, and then hue and saturation. Sample the hand, then click the color you don't want. This is a hand tool. Click the color you don't want and lighten it to 100. If there's any color, click add and sample that color as well. There is a magenta here, so we'll sample that also. We are done. So that we have this color as pure white, we are going to load a selective color, white, clip it to that hue saturation, and then move a few sliders until white looks more like white. At that we have good white. We go back to the hue saturation and inverse that mask. Remember, the one above is clipped, so it will only show in the areas where we reveal the one below. A small brush with about 10 to 20 pixel hardness, and then 10 to 20% hardness, then begin to paint. That one will clean up the eyes. it's not like because people have white eyes or people should have white eyes, because what do you call that thing? Because the blood vessels and capillaries are responsible for that redness, but it has become a requirement in photography and people see that as beauty, aesthetic. In the acting industry, people even have eye drops to keep the eyes or the sclera white and the teeth cleaned white. They even go for dental checkups and stuff. So for that reason then we are forced to do this. We'll reduce this to about 70 so that it's not too much. It's very easy to overdo things because we humans are a little excessive. We are done with that image. We are just left with 2 steps. Step number 1 is to make a copy of the image that has the subject and do the step I always call click through. We are clicking through with spot healing brush tool to remove any spot we see on him that require removal. Black spot, all that kind of thing, pimple, blemish, stuff like that. We are removing the most that we can see. If it's big enough for us to notice it, then it's worth clicking away. Probably you didn't see the need for this, and it's okay. But this is what we've achieved. A big difference. Probably you don't see the need for it. Maybe your client doesn't require it. You can always skip this step. But here in Githurai, Nairobi, Kenya, it's very important. That we treat clients' images like this. This is actually what they refer to as editing. If a person has a birthmark, they want it removed. They don't like those patches on skin. And I don't know why the people that are born after 97, they have very big birthmarks, patches on their skin. It can be a whole back part of the stomach, a whole hand, whole leg, a lot. Luckily, he doesn't have much skin showing because he's fully dressed. If he was wearing shorts, then it means any scars he has on his feet would become ours to deal with. So when clients fully dress at your studio, the lesser the work you have to do. You don't have very much work to do. But if they shoot nude, then you have a lot of skin to edit. Or semi-nude or with bikini or anything, you'll struggle. Your struggles will be real. Now that step is done. Step number 2 is to look for a color lookup that makes his skin glow. Some of you are already guessing the one I'll use. Mostly use V6, but today we are going to start from the top, see what we like and stop when we like it. I've zoomed in all the way so that I can see what is happening to skin, because I'm selecting a color lookup because of the skin. I really do like what is happening to the suit in that image. That color lookup is really adjusting those colors nicely. But again, that was not the intention, so we keep going. The intention of what I am doing is not because I don't know which color lookup I could use and what it does. But again, I want you to learn that you don't need to always have something at your fingertips. You always can scroll down, stop when you find something you like. I think I like this one a lot. It's a color lookup I use a lot for my videos because I'm brown, it looks very good on me. And then it has so many magentas, so much magenta, so much magenta. So we go to selective color, and then under it we go to reds, reduce magentas like that, and also together with that brighten it up slightly, then go back to it and reduce its power like that. Now he looks much brighter. These photos are intended for campaigns, so he cannot afford to look very dull. Now we are done with that part. The other part is the background. We are not going to do anything complex because again they are going to be used for campaigns. They need to look serious. So you are going to pick one background and you are going to use that the whole time for this one suit, so that when it comes to editing and changing the background, the editor will find us having done an easy thing. So we are going to use just this circle. I'll put it there. You remember the selection, the mask we had, right? So we'll put it in a group, click Alt, hold down Alt and drag this mask. Then because we need the opposite, Control and I, we press on our keyboard, Control and I, like that. That is enough. We are done. We won't do anything else. We reduce its opacity slightly. Then we look for branding. I don't know whether I have work that has branding here. Mostly I do. We are going to use this one in the next bunch. That is our next background. So we drag this, drop it here at the corner. This is a client I like. Since he came to me, he's always been bringing the family. He has no problems paying. He has very good taste of fashion. He's very agreeable. He's very patient, even with his child. If you will see in the video how he plays with his son, so that it makes it easy for me to shoot. That is parenting. It feels very good to see a parent that really participate in the life of their children and their friends and all. And for that one reason, I can really hone his trumpet, especially for being a nice dad, close friend, stuff like that. Interested in the family and giving a lot of time to it. Next image, process repeats itself. Copy, Control rasterize, quick select subject, load a solid color, then go in and check what is left out. So we'll begin from the top. Before we correct that, there is a problem I've seen with my chair, so we'll correct that last when we come here. Then we include something that we'll also exclude later, so let's deal with that as early. And what we will do, so that we make our lives easy, because we are clever also, is reduce this chair. It goes all the way, so we are going to reduce this curve and then it will end here. That will make our lives very easy. So we click once, click again, make that curve, because that's how chairs end. Connect it with the suit and then select this part. We are selecting slightly inside, eating a piece of it, because if we don't, then the redness will reflect on the suit and it will give away the fact that there was something there that was removed. Then add a new layer, new empty layer, plus clone tool. Come click a clean area while holding down on Alt once like that, and then we can paint that in. Perfect. Now that's done. Just a minute, I need to pick a call here. Now we load back that selection, and everything now we correct shall be accurate. All right, let's begin to include. That was a client calling, so you're surely going to get interrupted for an hour or less. We need a solid color, 100% hardness, 100% flow, 100% opacity, even 100 fill and opacity on this other end on the layer, and then we fill those parts that are left out. I've told you many times, hold your emotions if I'm interrupted, because that's how I get paid. Those are the actual real clients. By real, I mean they are the ones whose work I'm editing. They are the ones that sustain my business. They are the ones that trust my brand. They are the ones that give me opportunities to serve them, invite me for events, trust my dream, fund my plans, and I respect them as such. And if they stopped coming, then we would stop even doing these edits, because then whose work would we edit? And I wouldn't desire to edit the white man's skin, because then I will not be doing my African brothers and sisters service. I'm an African photographer. I should teach with an African skin, so that my fellow African photographers and editors will learn how to deal with those kinds of melanin skin in edits. Not because I have anything against the light-skinned whites, Asian or whatever people from whichever country, but because those videos are also very many and available online. The part that is missing is the editing of our own skin and the photography of our own African skinned and native people. So we become the photographers that do our own work, serve our own clients, edit our own skin, and show that to the world, so that as Asians show their Asian skin, the Americans show their white skin, in London they show their English skin, we also showcase our African skin and how we treat that and how our clients appreciate our work. With all that rant, I'm still painting in the areas that I feel were wrongly done by select subject command. And you know, you cannot go randomly to town, take photos of people and begin to edit those, because again you'll be working without consent. 2, even African skinned people are very few. There are very few works you can find online that are not copyright to a certain studio. So it's best when I serve them, so that I also get work to work with, show you how I serve my clients, so that if you like my work, then you can copy a thing or two and add that to your brand and also serve more African people because no matter how big my studio is and with how many branches, I cannot serve them all. The best I can do is even hire you who has learned from me and serve them at my studio, but still, you see, I'm not the one serving them. Someday I'm going to make this studio so big until it becomes a franchise, that somebody can pay me to use my name. I don't even know how the finances of that studio works, but the studio works, but because Mastech has become a big brand, then someone can pay so that when they start their studio, they don't start from scratch. They start from the credibility that I've already built. Like, you see the way they do it in church. You can start your own ministry and then join your ministry with another man's ministry, then he gives you a cover. So you stay under the umbrella of that big church and hoist the picture of that bishop that people already know and love, so that they can also get to know you and love you because of him. Then you pay some tithe to it, or rather for it. Then I'll begin to do that in future. When this brand grows very well, I'll also make that available. You'd like to use the name Mastech somewhere to open up a studio, no problem. Because I don't think the man who owns KFC is the one that runs KFC in Kenya. To begin with, he's dead, and I don't even think the king or whoever was in charge is the one that runs, but I think he's the one that sells the name for people to use. So I'll be doing something like that. Someday, this is going to become real stuff. So that's what we are building. We are building even a business we can sell. And we're not selling the real business, the one we are using, but the good name, the reputation. Such that if you start a studio in Mombasa and call it Mastech, people already know and love us, they just couldn't access us. But now you use our name, now you are the real deal. So you pay some goodwill to it, and we come and endorse you, serve people together with you for a while, and then do some contracts that you can take our name back if you begin to drag our brand into things that tarnish it. Then we leave you to serve your people. You'll think I'm counting my chicks before they hatch, right? We shall be with you here. You'll see. When that happens, I'll do a video and I'll tell you. I told you once. Actually, I'll tag this video. And tell you on episode 165 of Edit Like a Pro, I did tell you one day I'm going to franchise Mastech Studio. Now it has happened. And when I open up that door, I'll make it available for everyone who would like to use my name to make money. We'll endorse you, say we have a branch in this and that place, give the outline visit, come to door and grand opening together. We shoot, take photos, edit together stuff, ensure that the quality of your product is as good as ours, or we invite you over to Nairobi, you come learn from us so that you can do it like us for your people, so that the brand resort is consistent. Then we let you do your thing. Then you give us our cut. You see? I'm going to retire very nicely. I have plans. Now, you know me already. I'm the type that I'm looking again at this photo and I'm thinking it's very red. Let's brighten it slightly again, or make it more yellow or orange something. There is a level of magenta on it that I don't appreciate. Yes, now it's good. I will save it, because then I'm going to copy everything I've done to this image over to the other image so that everything else is consistent.
Review paper of 2022, they argued that it did.
Now we've saved the image. We'll unplug it. To unplug it, you just drag it out like that. To plug it back, you just push it until you see that blue outline, and then you drop it. Now it's back. Right, now we are unplugging this one so that we can scavenge. Number one, the very first thing we are going to scavenge is this color lookup table. We'll drop it there. Another thing we scavenge is the branding. Drop it there. And we are going to create a group, call it skin, so that it makes our lives dwellable. Below here we take the selective color layer that adjusts those reds like that. Drop it there. Let's make it slightly darker, yeah, like that. We make that group, put that in a group, select both Control and G on your keyboard, then call it skin, or rather skin tone. So every time we drag it, we'll know it's for skin, right? And then the background group, we'll drag it, drop it, and this time round put it there. Then copy this mask down, holding down Alt, drag it down, then activate it and invert it like that. Now we are done scavenging. I'll put this off screen so that we can go in, do two steps that are remaining: the click away using the spot healing brush tool, to the whitening of the eyes, stuff like that. So I'm going back up, I'm going up the skin to check, to ensure that everything is okay and the background is okay. If there's anything I need to click away, like parts like that, we will do exactly that. Even something on the chair, something on his clothes, something on his skin, anything we think that this, if this one was clicked away, the image would improve. We'll do exactly that. I'm going to paint this thing, and I'm not going to say that again. Sometimes this week, may God give me cash, I'm going to have all these chairs painted. Even if it's with a spray can. I can buy a spray can with black paint and spray all of them. That's about 300. I loved this suit. Not just the quality, not just the texture, not just the make, but also how it fits him. Very nice. Looks executive. Is it executive or executive or executive? I don't know how you pronounce that word. Is it executive, executive, executive? Let's use the word excellent. Excellent is easier. Looks excellent. Because I don't know whether it's executive or is executive. I don't. You see, I'm dealing with all the spots, the scars, the black spots. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. His teeth in this image doesn't require whitening. Maybe the eyes will. Someday I think I'll invite him over, or just someone else, and we will do a video of how to avoid lens glares on spectacles during a photo shoot. Because, well, that's a tactic. If you don't learn it, you'll be screwed for life. And sometimes clients will have begun to notice them. Initially they never cared. They've started to notice, and there are times they call it reflection. They say I don't like, wengine wanasema kuungua, spendi venye hiyo glass yangu imeungua, or rather they say I don't like how that glass has reflection. They see it as burning out or overexposure of the eyes or something, and they might drop an image. They would have been 20, but they could pick 18 because 2 images had that reflection, and they thought it's not worth the hassle, not worth paying for. Magenta, this one, inverse, then with about 20 or so % hardness, small brush that's white, come paint inside the eyes so that they don't look this red. I know the color lookup is also participating a lot in turning those eyes red. You can see, yes, sometimes they are not red because they were really red. Sometimes it's your color gels, sometimes it's your edits, sometimes it's your white balance, sometimes it's your camera raw adjustments, sometimes it's your vibrance and saturation sliders. Now let's make that white, clip it, and then use neutrals this time and move those sliders until the eyes look really like ice. Then strain it so that it's not very bright. Good enough. Remember what we said, we are going to take a minimal approach to the editing of these images so that the owner, when he begins to use them for his campaigns, they are going to be easy to what? They're going to be easy to manipulate in the graphic designs to post. Again, because they are serious, suited executive pictures, we don't want them to be flooded with a lot of edit. No. It's also faster to do this. Now we're already on image number 3. Sorry, I should have loaded a solid color. Navy blue. Maybe another color so that if the suit has something left out, we notice. Then darker, because if it's bright and the background is bright, we won't see nothing. This is like a well done one, except this part. There is a word I hear people say save for this part. I try to understand. Everything is done well, save for. Doesn't sound like good English, but again, what do I know? I was just born the other day. Now we paint this in using a white brush, 100% flow, 100% opacity on the panel, and 100 fill and opacity on the layers. That is like much done. Let's add that. Yeah, like that. Then inverse it. Good. We are doing just fine here. You have a very small adjustment here, which will take about 2 pixels. Told you the more you paint, the more you know the amount of the size of the brush you need, the hardness and what. Could also use a pen tool there, but painting is much better. Done. So inverse it, load the selection, then run the Brian Umos background cleanup. Action, I've said before, it's made available on the video description of this live stream. Yes, and if you want to know how to use that, it's available on his channel, Brian Umo. Umo is UMO. He's an African creator, I think from Nigeria, if not Malawi. Lately I have a very serious R and R problem in my pronunciation. Now we come back to scavenging. We scavenge. Now we'll use the second image so that we have things more orderly. So let me have this one here. So the first scavenge, we will not do the eye, we just copy the skin tones, correct, and then copy the background, just like that, and then the branding. Perfect. Now we put that off screen. You're going to leave that one exactly where it is. Push the branding to the right. Do we leave it there or we push it to the right? Let's push it to the right. And then copy the mask down, holding down on Alt, copy the mask down. Yes, replace. We don't want the mask it came with. Then inverse that mask. Correct. It doesn't look proper, that background thing. So we resize it so that it falls where it should. It cuts through the head, so we shouldn't have that also. So let's make, we don't want it to dig into the head like that. So let's push it slightly away and slightly larger so that the elbow is also clear. Remember, we said we are going to make an edit that will also aid for easy graphic design when they decide to. Right, now the clickaways. Let's start down, and there is no down here, it's just the hand. Then so that when we get to the face, we do everything together with the eyes. Let's make a copy. Then spot healing brush tool. Some men are very well bodied, like they look fine. They are not big size, they are not fat. They look flexible, light, capable of many things, like the police-ish, wise, rich stuff. Then there is the rest of us who eat pork all day. Yeah, we look fat, cheap. Unlike photographers, because we go to weddings with Crocs. I've seen people, photographers going to weddings with Crocs and shorts and sneakers and a vest, a Lakers basketball vest. And you've been paid over 65,000 Kenyan shillings. And you come there looking like John Cena. Someone might think you're going for a fight. Someone will think he's wrestling. Then to worsen the matters, now then you are fat with unkempt beards. Yeah, photographers, we should do better. That's what I'm saying. Myself included. I'm usually with sandals at work. Because where am I going with shoes? Doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, but yes, we should do better. This coming year, I should go to RNG Plaza. You know who is I can find there? That is Shiko of His Styles. Buy myself nice shoes, sneakers, a few official shoes and stuff. Then buy like 5 khaki trousers. So that every day of my life I look semi-official. Like nice shirt, well ironed, tucked in, with shoes on my feet. So that we walk into the new year with a lot of sophistication and professionalism. I did start a podcast in my other channel. This channel. The channel is called The Inquest with me, Stanley Mitch. I have like 3 channels. 1, Mastech Photo Studio. 3, The Inquest with Stanley Mitch. This one. And then I have the other one. This one, the one you are watching me at, the Learn Filming and Photography with Stanley Mitch. I started a podcast here. I released the first video yesterday, I think, 16 hours ago. You can go there and watch. Now, for these podcasts, I'll also need to have a certain designer look and stuff like that. So if you haven't subscribed here, please check that out. Listen to some of the content. I also sing. Some of the music I sing is found there. Yeah, I'm not just fat. I'm not just a fat photographer that wears Crocs and rants while editing. No, I do better than that. Now the eyes, and then we go to the next image. Mahoi mabatete magoro iria theru. You already established it's yellow, magenta, and reds. Invert it, Control and I on your keyboard, or double click the mask and you'll find invert here. Then a brush with hardness of about 10 to 20% hardness. Then you come painting on the sclera to make it look cleaner for both eyes. Mahoi mabatete magoro iria theru. Mahoyaga ithe witũ makoiga ameni. Acio nĩo matuirwo kĩama kĩa Jehova. Nĩ ngombo cia igongona rĩa Roho Mũtheru. Mahoi mabatete. Percent 70, so that it's not overdone. Mahoi mabatete magoro iria theru. Mahoyaga ithe witũ makoiga ameni. Hihi nĩgũgaciarwo aira ehokeku, moimbũrage Mwathani matarĩ na guoya. Very nice. That image is done. We export it. Ngoro ciao ciamenya nĩ agendi gũkũ thĩ. Anabii maigũrũ atereire aira, arĩa mekũmĩrĩria kũgũra Mwathani, torĩa ũmũmĩrĩirie rĩrĩa marathaga. We pluck that out. Go to the next image. duplicate, rasterize. We did this because we want to fill part of this background with using content aware command, content aware fill command. We let it do its thing. I'm deselecting the areas I don't want it to sample. I don't want it to sample the tie. I just want it to sample the background because it's creating more background, not more person. Done. Has done a pretty good job. Of course, in this selection, we can almost guess again that select subject might fail us when we go to select because of these short areas that are as white as the background. But again, how do we know? Just commit the select subject command, see how best it works. Sometimes it does a pretty good job. Solid color, green, navy, or dark, so that we can see what it's doing. And you see, our guess was as good. It was very correct. That problem was going to show. That side is perfect. I'm just going around to ensure that I don't just rush to the place I see. Activate the mask and then come with a white brush, 100% hardness, and paint. Ashione amatwiro kyama ke Jehova. We inverse it so that we can see the other side of the mask. It's perfectly done. So we load the mask, holding down on control, double click the mask, deactivate it, and then go back to the layer that has the subject, activate it by selecting it, or rather activate it by selecting it, then go to actions. If you cannot see actions here, it will be in Windows, then actions, right? Then you go there. You can always rearrange this. Let's put it down below here, there, and then play the action. The expansion of one has always worked perfect for me. Oh my goodness. I needed the inverse of that selection, sorry. This is the gel light that I showed you in the video. Correct. Done. Now we do the obvious thing again. We scavenge, right? For what we need. We go to the previous image, we scavenge skin tone group, done. We scavenge the branding, done. And then we scavenge the background, done. Then we put it off screen. Then reorganize where we want the background to be. That circular thing. Need it right about there. We'll copy this mask from the one we made. We have ours up here, so we'll hold down on Alt, drag it down, press OK, just like that, and we are done. You see? Now, only two things are left again. The click away step and the whitening of the eyes. Just that, then the image is done. So I'll do that without even having to explain it, and I'll start from below I do that all the time because sometimes there is something to click away on clothes. Like you can see something here at his trouser, this one. Yes, I don't just rush to the face because the temptation to not go elsewhere after you finished with the face is very high. So I want to finish up with everything else so that once I'm done with the face, I know anything else elsewhere that required my attention was addressed. What is happening to his fingers? He has like an allergy to something, like the soap, or I know removing this is called nipping, but I don't know what they are called because they cannot be called nipples. What are they called? These peelings. Yeah, looks way better. You see, clicking away is anything that you know that spot healing brush tool would easily take away and give you better results. If I had time, I would mask out the hair so that this ketone layer stop touching the hair, and I've seen it now, and I'll have to repeat all those images. Take it away from the hair. Now that I see it, I cannot unsee. I'm seeing the magenta in the hair, and well, now that I've noticed it, I cannot unsee it. Yeah, it's the curse of a photographer and perfectionism. Once you see something, you can't avoid it. You'll see it every single time. You noticed it, now your eyes always go there. You see the way your tongue stays where the tooth was removed, as though there is no other place it can park in your mouth. The very same way as an editor, I see things and my head cannot avoid seeing that. The word we use is unsee. Once you have noticed it, you cannot unnotice it. Once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it. Now the forehead is clean, right? I almost called it foreground. No offense intended. I think that word foreground was somewhere in the foreground color or something. Good enough. Let's finish with the eyes just now. And we said it's the reds, yellows, and magentas. You don't need to keep using the hand tool. Once you've noticed which colors are an issue, begin to train your mind to capture information for what it is you adjust most times. So, because one day you'll be the teacher like me, and you'll be the one telling someone that eye is very red, it's very yellow, or rather it has too much magenta in it. Deal with it. They'll wonder how you know, but because you first used the hand tool. I even didn't know the name of those colors. Initially, I couldn't tell yellow from orange. I couldn't know when orange becomes red and when it's yellow. But after editing so regularly for so long, it began to become obvious. I can now see yellow easily in the middle of reds and oranges. Sometimes I don't. Doesn't mean I'm always perfect, but most times I do. 70%, we said we reduce that to 70% so that we don't overdo it. What did I tell you about taking away the skin tones? So from the hair, so I'll load a mask, activate the mask above, inverse it because I need the opposite, and then come back here, use a black brush with about 50% hardness, and then paint out that layer, or rather the effects of that group from the hair. Why did I pick 50% hardness? Because I don't want to see a hard cut, but I also do not want the remover to smear. I want it just to look seamless and belong. Like that. I see greens somewhere here, or cyans, or whatever that color is. So I'll sample it. I think it's cyan or green, one of those two. Greens. And then see whether I can colorize it. It can't colorize much. So let's sample it again. Twisting the colors don't change anything. Brightening it doesn't change anything, so I'll leave it. Yeah, now you realize that the hair is much cleaner. We will do that again for all the images that we already exported. Now that I've noticed it, I cannot unsee it. While exporting, remember we are editing in Profoto RGB. Ensure that you have ticked convert to sRGB so that colors are consistent between the photo you've edited and the upload online. Optimized and bed color profile. I usually export it at 85%. Quality. It's big enough, but again, not too big. Right. I unplug it. These two images might look the same, but they are not. One is jacket buttoned, the other one unbuttoned. And he has use for both. And I get paid for both. Pure awesomeness, I told you. So let's heal this part. As that happens, I'll go put on the lights. It's getting dark and I've not put on the street lights. Not street lights, security lights. Ashionea makwino kiama kia Jehova Nigobo shaigo gona.
Stanley Mitch, turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the
Right, now the lights are on. We do the obvious. Control D to deselect, then select subject. Pick quick select here and click select subject. Load check layer. It's likely to do the same mistake the other one did. Right at the shot here, because those two images have similar pixels. %, hard brush, 100% flow and opacity at the control panel, and 100% fill and opacity at the layer, in the layer panels. This is wristband, yeah, like that. Let's zoom in to ensure that everything else is good. The wristwatch requires a little inclusion. The ring requires a little inclusion. I wouldn't have noticed it. Thank God for the zooming. The shot there. Then we inverse it so that we can see the opposite. The best way to see something is to see it from inside and from outside. Done. Let's activate the mask and then play the background cleanup action by Brian Umo. This thing is splendid. It makes my work very easy. Now scavenging. We'll scavenge for skin tone. We delete that mask. We'll scavenge for branding, and we'll scavenge background. Branding, and we'll scavenge background. Perfect. Then we put this image, we keep the image off screen. Like that. Then we copy the mask down, holding down on Alt. That's how you copy anything in Photoshop. You want 2 copies of anything, just drag it up or down while holding down on Alt. Then inverse that selection. Sorry, it's Control and I. Nice. The next thing there is to do is, do you do the click away? No. The next thing is the click away. The next thing is the click away session and the whitening of the eyes. And then you'll be done with that image as well. I was just zooming out to see whether there is any other part that might have skin that requires click away, but we are still going down there in case we find an issue with the article of clothing. So we make a copy of this layer just in case we make a mistake and need it, or even for us to see before and afters. Then we begin to click away anything distracting. Is it a black spot? We click away. Is it a pimple? We click it away. Is it a string on the dress, on the cloth, on the suit? We click it away. A scar? We click it away. A particle of anything around the mouth? We click it away. A mole? If it's not a signature for his face, we click it away. All those kind of good things. To appreciate what you're doing, always remember to switch on this eye, click the eye on and off to see the difference that your editing is making. Someday we are going to do a tutorial discussing I don't like what it's doing here. It's adding a very hard line with the shadows. Because the brush is too big. Yeah, now it's done well. You see? Yes, sometimes the size of the brush will become your hindrance. Sometimes it's content aware versus proximity match. Play around with the size. If it doesn't work, shift from content aware to proximity match and you'll find better results. If it doesn't work, then use clone tool. It's not even called clone tool, it's called clone stamp tool. Clone stamp. I've remembered those peelings at the hand, so we are going that direction to see whether this photo has that one also. Sometimes you will take away something that was already there and it improves the photo. Sometimes you will include something that wasn't there and it improves the photo. Like there is something that did not go right here. We lost this line here, which was not necessary. We need some definition. Say definition. English is not my first language, so every once in a while my first language will affect my English, especially in the pronunciation level. I might not miss a word when I want to speak, but I might get it and still pronounce it wrong. You see, even that word pronounce might be just pronounce, but the people who owns this language cannot speak my Kikuyu, so I'm bet I can speak both. With accent, but I can. Good enough. All done except for the eyes. We said it's reds, yellows and magentas. Yellows and magentas. All these photos were shot in the same place with the same lighting. So mostly if two images required the whitening of those three colors, it means it goes without saying. That even the rest, the hardness we said should be about 50, not 100. We don't want a hard cut. The brush shouldn't be so big. But if you paint excess, turn this color to black. Then come back and paint it away. Kids are still playing out past 7. In Githurai, kids are playing football past 7. It's nice to grow in a slum sometimes. You get a little more freedom. People who live in homes with 2 gates and policemen at the door will never enjoy that. They're even wondering, what is it that I'm calling enjoying? Yeah, it's enjoy. And we also said that the opacity for the whitening should be 70, lest we overdo it. You remember that, right? Yes, the image is done, but we also said we are going to add a solid color, a mask there, then load the mask so that we can remove the magenta from the hair, because I told you once you have seen it you cannot unsee it. Still, the hardness should be at around 50, between 30 and 50 would do. Not so hard, not so soft, just a good amount. A little more feathering is enough. Now the hair is uncontaminated, and now we export it. Alright, I have two more images which have the same vibe, so I'm not going to explain those away so that I become faster. I'm going to do exactly the same thing I've done for these 5 images. Yes, I'm going to do exactly the same thing I've done for these 5 images for the next 2, this one and this one, and then I'll come back and then we do another, I show you the befores and afters. Yes, then we continue. Told you I cannot, because it's a repeated process, I cannot talk through the whole time. Alright, jibambe. Jibambe in English means enjoy.
Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you, or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes?
We are done with the 2 extra images. Now I'm going to repeat the few that we had not that I had not reduced, rather brushed off the magenta from the hair, and then we export those. Then I'll show you before and afters. To do that, we just need to add mask on the skin tone layer, and then load the mask, zoom in, like that. Ensure that the brush is black and the hardness is somewhere within 50. Then paint that out. I finished that. See, now the hair is turning back to black. Once I finish this, I'm going to come back and show you the befores and after.
Trim color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame be joined. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch,
Right, we are done with the cleaning of the hair. This looks like too much. We are done with the cleaning of the hair. Now I'll show you the befores and afters. And we are done with 7 images, so out of 25 we are 18 images to go. We might as well clean 15 so that we are left with 10, which you might also do at night and finish all of them. It's already night, I know. It's already 7. We started at 5, so 2 hours later we are done with 7 images. All right, I'll go from start to finish so that I start from a place, from somewhere. Right, so we'll start from this angle. I'll show you the befores and the afters. The first image is 50, 89, this is the before, this is the after. Next 50, 88, here it is, before, after, 50, 68, here is the before, here is the after. Next image 50, 81, before and after. Next image 50, 78, before and after. Next 50 what? 50, 46, there it is, before and after. And lastly 5090. That is the before. And the after. Thank you guys for being here for this first section of this fleet of edits. I'm going to see whether I can align as many as I can. Looking for them that stand out in many ways for political reasons. Yeah, and the other one is like the other one. Yes, so that we don't have many things mixed up. I'm going to end this live and then I'll start another one in like from 8. I take my 30 minutes, eat something. I hope when I request they'll bring it sooner. This looks a little more saturated, so let's desaturate it slightly. Yeah, now it's good. Anytime I align images like this and one skin tone doesn't look like the rest, or brightness or anything, or the color of the clothes stuff, I always adjust it, because this is my last one time to see everything and ascertain that it looks all the same. What I was saying is, I'll end this live so that we have small chunks of information that are safe to chew or consume, and then about after 30 minutes I'll create another live, and then in the next live we are going to do the white suit, and then we end that live and then we do one for the baby, stuff like that. We will see how far we can go with that. For now, thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like this video so that the algorithm pushes it. For now, my name is Stanley Mitch. Before I actually think I'll play the behind scene video. As it plays, I'll get my food and all that I need to do. Then when I come back, now we will end this and start the new one, and from there and then we won't need to play the video because you'll have watched it already. Now we'll just go ahead and begin the edits. Yes, there is more wisdom in that. So for every one session we'll play up to the point that we can. These are the images. I told you the dad is a very close friend of the son, plays, excites him, helps you while you're shooting, plays games, excites the baby. This is all it takes to become a good dad: present, available, friendly, warm, all that kind of good thing. Keep watching. Let me settle down for a while and then I'll be back. Then we'll do the rest of the edits. We are 7 down, 18 more to go. All right.
For how long will you know? You are being exploited. Wacha tuendelee na hii video.
So what is it?
Majima.
God have mercy upon us.
Hii nonsense will happen, Joe. Na inahappen in Africa, Joe. Kifala kina move mguu hivi alafu watu wanaanguka. This is what I'm trying to save you from. And you might wonder why I'm doing that, but I'm just doing because I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And I also don't want you to end up having stomach upsets. Kwa nini? Cause ulicheki ingine, kuna video ingine kwa na watch.
Jogona.
Na dishi.
We mwega. I want food. How long? Niki hatari, niki kiraga.
Laki maza kudishi, hiyo kidole, kinakula, hafu kidole kuna manini, mate, paka midomo za watu wengine. Like, that is what I'm saving you from, but don't worry. Since when that is each other to above, yours is different. No, it's all fictional. It's all fictional. I'm sorry. I know that hurts your feelings, and that's the reason why I posted this on a Sunday, on a holiday. It's a holiday, but jana usiku sulikuwa na dinyana. Ama ulikuwa na dinyo. Jana usiku sulikuwa na kunywa pombe. Unajua nataka hizo story. But hii video yangu ndio, that's why you draw the line, right? Okay. Wacha tu watch jo. Watu wakipata.
Our universe is vast, full of challenges and opportunities. And you are at its center, with the power to shape it. This can all seem daunting, but the Air Career Program is here to assist you. It will guide you and help you answer the question,
magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make the short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join.
Now guys, you have seen the videos. Now we'll end the stream and then